In a stunning turn of events that has sent ripples through the global defense community, China's unveiling of its sixth-generation fighter jet has caught the United States and its allies by surprise. While American defense planners have long anticipated China's gradual development of next-generation airpower, few expected the sudden leap Beijing appears to have made, a leap reportedly fueled by billions of dollars in stealth technology, AI integration, hypersonic capabilities, and cyber warfare adaptability. The shock in Washington isn't just about the fighter jet's existence, rumored to be designated as JXX or J-25 by Western analysts, but rather its timing, capabilities, and the manner of its debut. Satellite imagery, open-source intelligence, and leaked footage from a heavily guarded airbase in western China show a sleek, stealthy aircraft with a delta-wing design, tailless configuration, and an unusually large internal weapons bay. These design cues suggest an emphasis on deep penetration missions, advanced electronic warfare, and a focus on avoiding radar detection entirely. What stands out the most is the seamless blend of artificial intelligence and real-time battlefield awareness. According to reports from think tanks closely monitoring China's military-industrial complex, this sixth-generation fighter has incorporated neural network-based flight systems that allow the aircraft to anticipate threats and make split-second decisions with minimal pilot input. In essence, the aircraft is no longer just a tool controlled by the pilot, it becomes a thinking, learning combat system capable of evolving during missions. Another jaw-dropping feature is its suspected use of directed energy weapons and anti-satellite payloads. The notion that a fighter jet could potentially disable or blind enemy satellites while operating in contested airspace was once the stuff of science fiction. Now, with China's massive defense budget, estimated at nearly $300 billion annually, and its growing dominance in quantum communications and space-based systems, this possibility is becoming real. U.S. military officials are scrambling to reassess the balance of power, particularly in the Indo-Pacific region where air superiority has been a cornerstone of American strategy for decades. Further adding to the U.S. military's concern is China's reported ability to manufacture these jets rapidly and cost-effectively. Chinese state media has boasted that their use of modular construction techniques, 3D printed components, and advanced composite materials gives them a production advantage that could outpace the American defense industry's often slow and bureaucratic procurement process. The idea that China could not only field a sixth-generation fighter before the U.S., but also deploy it in large numbers, poses a serious challenge to U.S. air dominance. This aircraft, which some insiders claim has been spotted conducting test flights as early as 2023, appears to integrate swarm drone coordination systems, allowing it to command a fleet of autonomous drones during combat. These drones could be used for reconnaissance, jamming enemy radars, launching missiles, or even acting as decoys. The concept, often dubbed "loyal wingman" in Western defense circles, is now a reality in China's arsenal, shifting the paradigm from isolated dogfights to networked, multi-layered aerial warfare. Perhaps even more concerning to U.S. analysts is the role this new fighter plays in China's broader anti-access area denial A2AD strategy. With the growing reach of Chinese long-range missile systems, integrated air defenses, and naval expansion, the addition of an AI-powered sixth-gen fighter significantly strengthens Beijing's hand in any potential conflict scenario, particularly over Taiwan or disputed areas in the South China Sea. Defense contractors in the U.S., including Lockheed Martin and Northrop Grumman, have been developing their own sixth-generation fighters under programs like the Next Generation Air Dominance (NGAD) initiative. However, experts warn that bureaucratic delays, funding uncertainties, and competing priorities may cause the U.S. to fall behind in what is rapidly becoming a new arms race in the sky. The geopolitical implications of China's new fighter are profound. Its development not only showcases Beijing's technological ambitions but also signals a readiness to compete with, and potentially surpass, the United States in key areas of military innovation. While some skeptics argue that Chinese propaganda may be inflating the aircraft's capabilities, recent demonstrations, combined with independent analyses, paint a picture of a serious technological threat that can no longer be ignored. American generals and defense advisors have begun pushing for accelerated research and development funding, as well as strategic partnerships with allied nations like the UK, Japan, and Australia to counterbalance this emerging threat. The Pentagon's latest budget request includes tens of billions specifically allocated for sixth-gen research, unmanned systems, and cybersecurity infrastructure, all areas that China is clearly investing in aggressively. Behind closed doors, there is a growing sense of urgency in Washington. Military simulations have been updated. War games in the Indo-Pacific have been recalibrated. The old assumptions of technological superiority are being questioned. For decades, the United States has relied on its edge in aerospace technology to maintain global dominance, but that edge is now being contested, possibly overtaken, by a new player unafraid to pour billions into rewriting the rules of modern warfare. The Chinese sixth-generation fighter may not yet be deployed in full force, but its mere presence sends a loud and clear message. It is no longer enough for the U.S. to rest on the achievements of the F-22 and F-35 era. The race for aerial supremacy has entered a new phase, and China has made its move, one that has shocked and galvanized its rivals across the Pacific and beyond. Whether this shock leads to a renewed era of innovation or escalates into a more dangerous arms competition remains to be seen. But one thing is clear: the sky is no longer the limit, it's the battlefield of the future.